Welcome to episode 5 of the Limitless Range Basketball Podcast. I'm your host, as always, here at Ellis Highlight Reel, Brandon Ellis. I have my boys from Total Apex Sports, um, Shane Foley and Jacob Perrine. Say what's up, fellas.
What up, what up, what up?
What's happening, guys? Looking forward to it.
Yeah, we got a big night tonight. The U.S. play Belgium here in about 40 minutes or so. So that's why you will see me in the U.S. Weston jersey here. So that's why I don't have my normal NBA attire for this episode. But I just wanted to, that's the thing. So this is going to be on the shorter end tonight of an episode of our pod. Just because of the U.S. game. Hopefully everyone watches the U.S. game. The U.S. is going to be a fun game, controversial because of the Balogun stuff, but
yeah,
it's whatever. I think we would have won without Balo anyway. The way we were playing, so we'll see what happens with Balogun. We should win the game, but I respect Belgium, so we'll see. I think Belgium is going to make it a tough game. But
we haven't beat a European team in a very long time, so
Bosnia was a European team.
Technically,
yeah, Bosnia. So
technically, one of the top tier European teams.
Yeah. Since Spain in the Confederations Cup in 2010. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. That was our FIFA World Cup segment. So let's get into that. It'd be mostly focused on this episode is focused on the offseason so far. After the draft and free agency starts. We're gonna start with the biggest trade and work our way down. The biggest trade I feel like is the Jaylen Brown to Philadelphia. Now, the last episode, I did say this. I didn't think there was a contender that would be bumped by the Jaylen Brown trade. I remember saying that as I was editing, and I was like, wait a minute. And then I was like, oh, when Jaylen Brown got traded to Philly, I'm like, oh, that helps Philly a lot. And they could be a contender now. So let's start with Mr. Celtic here, Mr. Foley. And obviously, it does not help your Celtics out. Share your thoughts, my man.
Well, and obviously, we also had a lot of discussions in the group chat about it. So take it away, Shane.
For two. So I've been in for the past week. And the reason why is because all my social media, all the update trades that people passed on for Jaylen Brown. I'm not sure the validity, but one of them was we went to Houston and we would have got Sengun in a deal. And the Rockets said no. We also went to Philly to ask for Edgecombe, and Philly said, how about Paul George? So it's been rough. I know we said it a lot, but I think this is the nail on the head. Like, this confirms it. The Twitch stream brought down Jaylen Brown trade value. That's it. So it's only explanation why so many players can make so many moves, and we get Jaylen Brown for Paul George. And the reason why, and it's not like I'm not guaranteeing Paul George is gonna get injured. It's not like I think he's gonna go 10-8 for the season. He'll have his good games. The problem is that we needed some guy who can help our front court less shots. Paul George is going to not help our front court and take more shots. And we already have offensive identity issues. I mean, a lot of the times it's going to be Tatum taking the ball down, and 99% of the time that works, where it's just he takes a shot or he drives to the lane. But I just can't. And this might be the biggest thing that really sends me over the edge. I hate when a team loses to another team and then they're involved in making that other team that beat them better.
Yeah.
We just lost to the 76ers. So we have to think that's the hump we have to get over. And we gave the Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think I said a couple episodes ago, like Celtics probably team 1A in the East. You can just delete that.
Delete it.
Honestly,
delete it.
Yeah, and like I won't get into any other trades, but basically the power rankings in the East, I think, have shaken up. I think I'm probably still putting the Knicks at 1, but it's now the Knicks, several other teams, and then the. So
I agree with you.
Well, I think they just went. Well, I would say they went to like towards the middle of the pack rather than like the top of the cream of the crop there in the East.
You saying Boston went to the middle of the pack?
Yeah, I'm saying Boston went to the middle of the pack. Yeah,
I think so too. With here's the thing too. We got to talk about the Mitchell Robinson signing as well in this a little bit as well. I mean, getting Mitchell Robinson for a 3-year, 47 to play like significant backup minutes, especially when they re-sign Keita and they don't have shooting at that position now. It's not.
Well, yeah, and then they let Vucevic walk too, so that really doesn't help with their depth there. And like you said, their shooting takes a significant dive.
Yeah, exactly.
We had to re-sign a lot of people too. Like we re-signed Harper to a deal. Shireman. I think there were a couple other players where we're not moving them. So just kind of in general, it seemed like didn't want to really do any big moves except for like Mitchell Robinson and then whatever happened with Brown. And Brendan, you know what? You know what the Celtics did? They said, "Who are we paying next year? Paul George? We got some cap space. Mitchell Robinson, come on up.
Mitchell Robinson, come on over from the defending champs." I mean,
exactly.
Does it hurt the Knicks? Like it's good. I think it hurts the Knicks a little bit because Mitchell Robinson brought some good value to the defensive side as a backup center. But also relieves the Knicks for having to bench him in the fourth quarter at times too to get back and Robinson. And now the Celtics have to deal with that when using Robinson. So it's because he can't shoot the free throw, he can't shoot the ball. And it's we try. Oh, Mitchell Robinson's improving from the line. No, he's not. Stop with that.
Brandon, are we live? Brandon, are we live? I don't see the live button.
We should be live. On my end, it says end stream.
Sorry, my bad.
I see the live button.
Mess up the flow. Might be me. My bad.
Okay. No, you're good. I think I'm going to check real quick. I'm going to hop on my YouTube and check, make sure. Because, I want to see that we're live.
Sorry for messing up the flow. I just want to make sure we're everything is good. Okay over here.
Yeah, we're live on YouTube. I'm going to click my video right now.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, it's like it's a little delayed, but it's live. It's live, so we're good.
Okay.
Appreciate it though. I do appreciate it. Go into your thoughts on Jaylen Brown real quick.
I wanted to talk about Boston a little bit too, and I know I didn't have as visceral of a reaction as Shane did. Yeah. But I honestly kind of take the other piece of it, or I like to take the other side of it. I do think, even though Boston, obviously you give JB to Philly, it's like, well, okay, you're just making them stronger and making yourself weaker at the same time. But I also think that it wasn't too bad of a trade, just because, look, it's understandable that, trading JB for Paul George is already a significant downgrade. But in terms of like their financial situation, like Shane brought up, like, hey, we're getting rid of Brown's $300 million contract, and we're taking on the last couple years of Paul George's contract, including a player option that he could opt out of. So maybe getting only 1 year of Paul George at $50 million. So it's not that bad of a deal financially speaking. I do think, and we were talking about, the Twitch stuff with Brown, obviously maybe tanking his trade value a little bit. I don't think it was more so this move was a matter of, well, the trade value had diminished so much. I think it was an act of desperation more than, anything Brown did to tank his own trade value, just because when you look at what the Celtics did in terms of the trade deal, it was more so like, well, they wanted VJ, but they weren't going to get VJ, so obviously the Sixers are going to play hard on that.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was more so, and it was a matter of you don't want JB to come in next season on the Celtics and be like, you were trying to trade me all off season. Like, that's just locker room toxicity to the max. Right
exactly.
there. So you had to find somebody. You were going to get rid of them, and look, you were going to have to pay the price either way on that. So I think it was overall for the Celtics, I think it was a good move for locker room morale. I think it was a good move for their financials. Obviously still a downgrade, but hey, the East is still the East. It's still a very weak conference. So,
well, I'll argue it got stronger with a couple of the moves.
Yeah.
With especially the next one we'll talk about. The couple of the moves this offseason, the East definitely got stronger.
Well, I think it still got more top heavy. I don't think it got stronger as a whole. I just think
I agree with that.
I think it got a little bit more crowded at the top.
Yeah. No, I do agree with that. They got more top heavy. I still think too. I think like teams like Washington, who had, I think with the moves they made last year and then getting the Bonster, I think they're potential risers, not playing like maybe playing. Same with the
I think as a Washington fan, I will say it's a play-in for us. I think play-in expectations are there. Obviously, if we make the playoffs, don't have to do the play-in. That's a plus. But I do expect us to be way better than we have been the last few years.
Yeah, and then the Hornets, I expect them to rise. I expect Atlanta to be there too in the mix. I expect there's teams that haven't really made the big splash, like a couple of these teams, like Philadelphia, and then like the Raptors, like we're about to get into with the Kawhi deal. That haven't made the big splash, but I felt like made piece moves that incrementally getting themselves right, better in the long run, while Boston's like kind of obviously tanking the financials, kind of not rebuilding but retooling a little bit because of the finances and the morale, like you said, Jacob. So with that being said,
well, and then the trade capital too, don't forget the Celtics only had to give up Brown and all they got back was PG and a lot of draft capital. So
two first round picks.
But wait, said you're giving PG 1 year left on his contract?
Yeah, well, he has a player option after this next season. So
he does.
If things don't go well, he could obviously opt out or anything like that. Like there's a lot on the table for the Celtics to do financially speaking with Paul George's contract. So it's not too bad of a deal if it doesn't work out.
The flexibility. And also here's the thing too with Paul George. Paul George is willing to accept being a Robin or a third option at this point in his career. He has accepted that role. He kind of accepted it in Philly last year with Maxey and Embiid fully healthy, and technically he was the third option. He ended up being the fourth option when Edgecombe emerged and stuff like that at times too. So there's that side of it too. I think Paul George is willing to be flexible with certain teams and everything like that.
And look, it's a good fit. I think it's a good fit for the Celtics too, because they obviously already have Tatum, who has a similar skill set to Paul George, so they could really mesh well together and really fit into Mazzulla's system.
Go ahead, Shane.
Yeah. The other thing I would say is that very good. It's just Paul George is used to playing a Robin for sure, but like I think this might be a hot take, but I think Pritchard is going to be Robin.
Yeah, I've agreed with you. That's why I said third option as well when I said that.
Yeah. So I would call third, fourth option. I would call White might be our third option. I think it's Paul. I don't think Paul George can be Batman, Robin, or Nightwing, but he might be a good Oracle. He could
be Batgirl.
Nightwing and Robin are the same people. If
he could be Batgirl.
Batgirl's a cool one.
Batgirl is the third technically.
Yeah,
she ends up being Oracle too. So I mean, there's
that too. Yeah.
There you go.
There's that logic. I mean,
dropping some comic book knowledge. I love it.
Yeah. The fact that he only has 1 year though, and he could play well. Could re-sign him out of Paul George. That's definitely a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
But if not,
yeah,
we're gonna have to hope. I mean, we took Jaylen Brown with the 3rd overall in 2015 when he got picked. Yeah. So I mean, to get similar value, you know, it might leave a hole in our team for a very long time unless we get really lucky and we scout well. You know, Paul George leaves, and then we find like a real diamond in the rough who can play. You know, so I mean, we'll see. It's not the end of the world, but I think it's the end of the Celtics being a top 3 team in the East.
Yeah, for right now, I think so.
Yeah, for right now, yeah.
So, with that being said, let's go to a team that I think is going to be a top 3 team. The Toronto Raptors, with the move that shocked some people. But if you looked at the tea leaves, it was happening.
Yeah, well, we talked about it. We talked about it last week about potential move to Toronto for Kawhi, and we were kind of right on the money about that.
Yeah, with the reports coming out, it seemed like it was going to happen.
Yeah,
and the reports we were like, I like reading the tea leaves of the reports, and I was like, yeah, that's probably going to be the moves here, but we'll see. And it ended up being an okay deal for the Clippers, who signed Rui Hachimura as well. I think earlier today. But they got, I think it was Ingram and a few picks in the future, and
I think it was one other player in there too.
They got Grady Dick as well,
and they had
Grady Dick and Ingram.
Yeah, so they had Grady Dick into the deal too. But this is a Raptors win all day. I think the Raptors win this trade. They get Kawhi back into the city of Toronto where he won the championship in 2019. Probably shouldn't have left the city of Toronto if he wanted to go back to LA to team up with Paul George. I think that's where his heart was. And the situation with the Spurs, Spurs didn't want to trade him to LA, so they traded him.
Yeah, they went and did Toronto, because he initially wanted to go join the Lakers, and then that fell through with the Spurs situation.
Yep.
And then finally just landed with the Clippers because they were able to sweeten the pot for him.
Get Paul George. And ironic enough, they get Paul George too. So it's like the same day. So
imagine wanting the player and then ending up with Paul George. Crazy.
Yeah.
Wild.
So, it is wild. I think the allegations of Kawhi kind of had dealing with him going to Toronto with U.S. law and Canadian law being different, maybe. That was something like social media picked up on and like speculated with trends and stuff like that. I saw a fun video of like Kawhi like trying to get out of the country quick because it was funny. But at the same time, I think Kawhi brings something that Ingram didn't, which is half-court offensive stability when he's healthy.
Yeah.
And better defense, but more so half-court offensive stability. And that's what Toronto needed. And him and Scotty Barnes is a great wing defensive pairing.
Yeah. Well, it kind of reminds me of when him and Siakam were together. So it's kind of that similar dynamic.
100%. 100% that same dynamic in Toronto. Yeah. I like what they're doing as a team. I think they're going to be the second best team in the East this year. I really do. Yeah. I like them as a contender more than Philly, in my opinion. Until I see Embiid stay healthy for 70, 80 or 70, 75 games, including the playoffs consistently. I can't buy, even though Jaylen Brown's great and coming off a great season, I just can't buy the Sixers. As much as I want to buy the Sixers, but I just can't. I'm buying this Toronto team. I'm buying a lot of stock in this Toronto team that present problems for the Knicks in the Eastern Conference. I really do. And I think Toronto is being slept on right now because everyone's attracted to the Jaylen Brown side of it. And obviously the Knicks are the defending champs. They're going to get a lot of praise. Yeah. I think this Kawhi move kind of went under the radar a little bit just because, like I said, I've been talking about the defense, half-court offensive stability, and the clutch time. All improvements with Kawhi Leonard. Just look at that 19 run. Just look at last year's Clippers team when he was on fire from like late January till March.
Yeah.
That was the reason they got into the play-in discussions to begin with, was because of Kawhi's hot streak there after he came back from injury. Now, the thing is, Kawhi has to be healthy. That is the tough part about this. And that's why people are going to be like, oh, Toronto's not going to be that great because Kawhi.
That's why even though you said Philly, you're unsure about it because of the Embiid injury stuff. Toronto, I'm kind of in the same situation where I'm unsure of it because of Kawhi's availability.
Yeah, that's why I agree.
But
I
think the reason it's a little bit different for Kawhi is because A, we know what he can do when he's healthy, and B, I think him getting out of LA and obviously heading into a contract year, I think he'll be motivated to want to really play. And he's going back to a city that he loves and, played well for. So why not, go all in and, try your best to stay healthy. And even if you get a little knocked up, still go out there and try and play. Whereas, in LA, I think he got a little bit too comfortable. Yeah. He got that big contract. Obviously, he had the big first year. And then from that point on, it was up and down. So, so I feel like this is a chance for him to really rewrite himself. Mm-hmm. And then for the Raptors as a whole, I think their team is really interesting. They have they are probably like the biggest team in the league right now because at every position, Quickly's a pretty decently sized guard. You got RJ at the 2; he's like 6'6", 6'7". Yeah, and then Kawhi 6'7", and I think what is Barnes? I think he's 6'8", 6'9".
6'9", yeah, 6'8", 6'9".
They have so much. They're very similar to 2019 team in terms of their defensive versatility because they have size and guys that can just switch at every position.
I mean, I'll say this comparison real quick. I'm sorry to interrupt, Jacob, but the Spurs, they're the Spurs of the East right now.
Yeah.
For me, because defensive versatility and the size at all 5 positions. Obviously, center is there's who's Toronto's center?
Jakob Poeltl.
Jakob Poeltl.
I mean, it's I think that's their only weakness, really, because Jakob didn't have a great playoffs whatsoever. Right. But I just think even then, that situation, it's not like it's too big of a drag on the team because they have so much, and they have talent coming off the bench like Colin Murray Boyles and stuff like that. So you have good players that are going to be on the bench as well.
And then Barrett, that's the thing. You start Barrett or have him come in as a 6th man. I
think I would start him because he fits the mold and he's not somebody. I think he really meshes him and when he was starting, him and Scotty really meshed well together in terms of their play styles. Now, obviously, it might be a different thing because you have Kawhi coming in and maybe they don't mesh well, so you try to switch up the dynamic there, like have him come off the bench so that way it doesn't conflict too much.
Right.
But in terms of even then, I just feel like the dynamic between Scotty and Kawhi is just going to be so good.
Oh, I agree with you.
Scotty has he has the same qualities as a Siakam has. Mm-hmm. And we saw how well that worked with Kawhi, so I don't see how the second iteration won't be as good as the first.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Shane, your thoughts real quick on Toronto.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, I actually think both Barrett and Quickly are going to play better because of Kawhi. So a lot of people are saying Kawhi and Scotty is a great pairing. Obviously, yes, 100%. But that, and think of it's mostly as I watched a lot of Clippers games last year. And if you think of the way and you bring that to Toronto, what's going to happen is that Barrett and Quickly are going to get a lot of open looks because teams still are doubling Kawhi. They try to do it in more creative ways, but at the end of the day, especially if it's fourth quarter, teams will do whatever to get the ball out of his hands.
Yeah.
So if he's got an RJ Barrett
too, don't forget that part. He's really developed as a passer as well. So
exactly. And then in terms of him coming off the bench I feel like they should start him because you probably want Murray Bowles as your 6th man, especially if you don't think Jakob, who name butchered earlier, you don't think Jakob's gonna have the production, then you probably want more. Keegan, I just said his name perfectly.
Murray Boyles.
Murray Boyles. Thank you, saving me there. Now, if you have that starting five of Quickly, Barrett, Leonard, Scotty, and Jakob, like that's an Eastern Conference champion.
Yeah.
Starting five. I don't Brandon at all better than Philly because there's an argument to be made. Obviously, it's easy if Embiid is not healthy, but even with him, like because like the Toronto built it on defense. It is very similar to 2019. It's a defense they needed, a guy who could take over, and they got Kawhi Leonard again. And like I'm probably a bigger fan of Brandon Ingram than most, but I thought it was also a great trade because Kawhi has the consistency that Ingram did not. Ingram would score 26 and then score 5 the next night.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's
exactly.
He's very wishy-washy that way. So, but now you have like the running of the half-court offense that you did not get with Ingram. And let's be real, like Quickly's not going to be bringing another ball. It's not going to be Barrett. It's going to be Leonard. He's going to be their power forward. Yeah. And they're going to win like that. So, I think you might as well. Yeah, definitely second, third team in the East. They're in that tier.
Yeah, they're in that tier. Yeah.
They are 100% in that tier. And that's the thing for me. Like, we got to respect Toronto more so. And especially the coach, too. The Serbian coach that came in last year.
Darko. Yeah.
Darko is really good. He's gonna learn what Kawhi likes. And I think Darko's gonna learn what he likes to run.
Well, look at what he was able to do with this roster last season, because even though it wasn't like their offense was like middle of the road, their defense was top 5 in the league. So they were a great defensive unit. And you're adding a guy who's been a 2-time defensive player of the year. I mean, come on. Even though he's 35, I understand he's older. But even then, you're still getting that IQ and that game knowledge in there. So,
well, here's the thing about the age, and I got a question for both of you. Do you think that they're going to have to load manage Kawhi to get the most 36?
I mean, Kawhi's going to get low managed regardless.
Yeah, he's going to get low managed.
Happen,
They were doing that in Toronto in 2019 anyway. So,
Nick Nurse was low managing him throughout the regular season that year too. So, I mean, low management with Kawhi is going to be a thing with him throughout his career. Now, that's how extreme is Darko going to do it? That's the question. Is he going to pull off Popovich extremes, or is it going to be like Nick Nurse in certain moments? Nick
Nurse was more so prevalent towards the back half of the season. For Darko, it might have to be the first half of the season that he does it, because he's a little bit older, so that way he gets that little bit more rest and juice ready for the playoffs. So I don't know. Like Brandon said, it depends on how they do it.
And especially, Go ahead, Shane. But my fault.
Oh, and I'll say real quick. For another pod, basically what happens with load management in general, because I think a lot of, in particular, fans and sports pundits are being more vocal about not liking it. Like, I remember it was a big deal last year in Boston because the Lakers came and LeBron was being low managed. So I'm wondering if teams do it less, but if you have Kawhi, you probably don't care what people say, give your star player the rest that he needs.
Exactly. And
it'd be more of an issue if he was 27, but he's 35, so it's understandable why they would do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. And also too, like with the 65 minimum rule, that was supposed to taper off the load management. I don't think it worked how Adam Silver thought it was going to work at that 65 rule, because it caused, like, with the injuries, the write-ins with Luka and Cade, obviously, to get nominated for awards because of their special circumstances or whatever, and stuff like that. So it's going to call, like, that 65 game rule is going to cause, like, a lot of deserving seasons not to get recognized because they're not going to meet the 65 games. So we'll see what happens with Kawhi and how Darko handles that. But I think how he handles that dynamic of that team with Kawhi Leonard now in there is going to be the key to my hypothesis of them being the second or third best team in the East. And So it's a lot on his shoulders, but I trust him as, that coach bringing that system in from, his success overseas the last few years, and then making that Toronto team a playoff team that no one expected them to be in the playoffs last year, let alone taking the Cavs to 7 games. Like, no one expected that from Toronto. Granted, they didn't win the road game. They lost all 4 road games. That's something they have to improve on, but I think Kawhi helps that. So we'll see what happens with them. Let's get into some winners of free agency thus far. I know Jacob has one that we were going to talk about the trade individually, but I think Jacob wants to overall.
Yeah, I'd rather we fold it in to a more broader topic. And the team I wanted to bring up as a winner was the Lakers. Yeah, obviously getting the Walker Kessler trade to, being able to get Walker Kessler is a huge move for them, because now that you've gotten rid of DeAndre Ayton, now you kind of trade him for an even better, younger version of him.
Yeah.
So you're getting somebody who's a little bit more motivated. And I just feel like the moves they made, Quentin Grimes, obviously, I think there were some issues for them. Obviously, losing Marcus Smart and Rui Hachimura, I think they should have retained those guys. I think they were great, but I don't think they had the money for either of those guys. So they kind of was just like, okay, the entire team from last year, we're just going to let go. We're going to kind of
other than Reeves and Luka.
Other than Reeves and Luka, we're just going to let everybody else go. Yeah. And so they got Quentin Grimes. Obviously, they drafted Cameron Carr. I do a little bit of I'll take some flack for it, because I said the Lakers were a loser for drafting Carr. I think retrospectively, I'll take the L on that.
Yes, you're now on my side. You're now on my side on that one.
Yeah, I'm on your side now, just because of all the free agency moves, and obviously we're going to get into LeBron leaving later. But all of that happening now, it really fits more into what they're doing. So I'm like, okay, that's understandable. Yeah, I think they won that. Quentin Grimes. Who else did they get? I forgot.
Oh, they still got Bronny. Bronny hasn't left. They still haven't left. He still has. It's only his dad that's leaving right now.
Yeah.
I think it's probably smart for Bronny to just not follow his dad where he goes in this situation, and stay with the LA Lakers, ride out that contract, and let him develop his own.
Let him get the last 2 years, and it's a decent chunk of change for him. So
I think he's gonna kind of be happy that LeBron's not there, because imagine missing a shot and passing your dad's there.
Yeah.
Miss a free
and also,
throw.
Too, I think Bronny gets more playing time this year. I really do with a lot of the moves, the moves the Lakers make.
Yeah,
I think Bronny James gets a lot more playing time, and I think he's going to earn that playing time, and I think he's going to be beneficial of. As he's the Lakers right now, the best defender perimeter wise out of the guards right now.
Well, who else did they get in I know they got Grimes, but I'm kind of blanking on who the other people
they got. Sasho.
Oh, they got Shilovich from Toronto. Yeah, they got the big boy from Toronto. And then I think there was one other. I don't know.
I'm pulling up the Lakers.
Are you pulling it up? Okay.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up.
There's a piece.
There's one more player after Sasha and
so Sandro Mamalu Sandro Mamalu.
So just say Mamu. It's okay.
Mamu. They also got it Sexton. They got Colin Sexton.
Colin Sexton.
Yeah, Colin Sexton. Okay. Yeah. So I think it's so funny. The day LeBron's I'm leaving, guys. And they're just okay, we're going to sign all these people then. Yep. I thought it was kind of funny when they did that. But I do think those moves are good moves to make, just because you needed more size. You got that with Kessler. You needed better deep rim protection. You got that with Kessler again. Yep. And then obviously you needed to shore up your guard situation. Well, get Grimes, who's a great 3-and-D player. And get Colin Sexton, who can create his own shot. We saw that.
And then make Bronny's deal get fully guaranteed. So he's on the roster for next year.
Yeah.
So.
And then you still got Bronny, and then you still have, and now you still have a decent chunk of cap space. So obviously you can still make moves. And then they drafted Carr, so he helps in that department as well in terms of wing defense, which is something they really needed. Yep. So I just feel like they're a huge winner right now. And then there's another winner in there too. I'm gonna say the Spurs are a winner because they went out. They really needed a little bit more depth and help at the wing spot.
And
a little bit more scoring. Yeah, go out and get Tobias Harris. He proved he's a reliable scorer this past playoffs. So might as well get him. He brings in veteran leadership. So I just think that's a plus for them as well.
Yeah, I agree with that because getting Tobias, re-signing Barnes, so that 1-year deal is also for veteran presence.
And they need to play Barnes more.
Yeah, they need to play Barnes more
in the playoffs.
Yep. And I think Tobias helps them with their certain wing depth. I think he does. In the playoffs.
Well, and he's versatile too. He's a big guy that can switch to the. He can play a small ball 5 if they wanted to.
Yes,
but he can play pretty much the out on the wings, and then obviously he can play the 4. So he's going to start.
They're going to start him at the 4. I can tell you that. I think they're going to start him at the 4, and then they'll still have Champagny and Barnes and all those coming off the bench. Yeah, I mean that's pretty good. That's a pretty good lineup, man. Yeah, it is a great lineup.
Yeah,
I'm gonna ask you this about the Lakers. Did you see Stephen A's comments about having 3 white guys as your top? Top guy?
Yeah,
I haven't seen this, but I've been on social media, so I know.
I saw another great comment online. They call them the Snowtime Lakers. So that was. Yeah, I think it's interesting that there's a lot of white guys, but it's funny. I find it more of a funny thing than taking it really seriously. Honestly.
No, I think that's the crazy part. Like your top 3 guys are all, 2 of them are American white guys. The other one's an international superstar in Luka Doncic. So there's that. So I just wanted to bring that
about Luka. I think he deserves a lot of credit in this offseason for this reason. The report is that the reason why they have Kessler is because he went to management and said, I want an A-list center. Yeah. And they got him exactly that. And keep in mind, when LeBron was there, what does LeBron do with every team? He tells the front office, I need this.
Yeah. Well, he's trying to build the team for himself, but not really to building a team around his strengths, but nothing that's really strength as a team. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
And I think
the LeBron team.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're giving him the keys to the team. He could have. I think it's smart for Luka to be like, I want a big man so we can play.
Well, and I think management has also come out for the Lakers and come out and said, we want to build this team similar to the 2024 Dallas team that Luka took to the finals. You want to give him another shot creator. You want to give him some, good 3-and-D players like a PJ Washington, he had in Dallas. Similarly, so that's what they went out and did really in free agency. I do think they missed out on not re-signing either Marcus Smart or Rui, one of the 2 guys.
Yeah,
I feel like especially Rui. I think Rui would have been a really great fit with this current.
Rui to go across town too. That's a big hit.
And I mean, and then you look at his contract; it wasn't that much money, so it was like. I don't know. They kind of just wanted to reset everything, and it's understandable. They wanted to get out of the previous Lakers ownership mess. So,
they didn't want to get out of the LeBron mold.
Yeah, the LeBron built era. Yeah, they wanted to get out of the LeBron era. So it's understandable they didn't want to re-sign either of those guys.
Especially when LeBron comes to the team and says, I think I'm going to sign somewhere else. Once that happened, all right, we're going full.
And I don't fully believe that he was the one that quit. I feel like Lakers management, the new ownership, wanted him out. And look, there were rumblings about it last year that he was going to be gone. Like the previous Lakers management of Genie was just like they were getting really tired of it. And then obviously this new Lakers ownership comes in. And they're no nonsense. They are not no nonsense because they own the Dodgers too.
Yeah, they're the Dodgers. It's Magic Johnson's ownership team.
Same management company. So you're not gonna. It's gonna be strictly business. So
100%. And that's where I'm at with it. I'm happy the Lakers made these moves towards Luka and Reeves building that duo and making that duo the focal point. I'm just not sure how it's going to work with the Thunder, the Spurs, the Timberwolves, teams like in the Nuggets, as I'll get into with my LeBron segment when we talk about LeBron.
I agree.
For teams, Denver, other teams like that. I think those teams are going to get better along the margins, and they already have gotten better.
Well, they already have Spurs and Thunder, and they did that. And the funny thing is, they didn't have to do the free agency. They didn't have to go the free agency route to do it. They just had to re-sign a couple guys, sign maybe one other guy, and then draft. For the Spurs, they drafted 2 big boys, and then Thunder over here drafted a Damara. So I mean,
Damara got starts. Yeah, so it's just it's tough for the Lakers. I think the Lakers are going to be good again. I don't know if they're going to be in the Western Conference Finals. I just still think it's going to be those 2 Goliaths.
I think I just think the West as a whole is getting a lot stronger, whereas the Lakers are kind of lagging behind. Not in terms of like they're not going to be a good team, but like in terms of championship contenders, they're not really with that top echelon like they used to be.
Yeah. U.S. game's about to start, so let's get into LeBron. Let's get to LeBron. So LeBron James has decided to leave LA. So he's mulling his options in free agency. Now there was this viral Rich Paul, Max Kellerman podcast whiteboard that went out. I don't know if y'all guys saw that. Had the Philadelphia 76ers on that whiteboard, the Nuggets on the whiteboard. I think the Warriors on the outside. Obviously Cleveland going back home to Cleveland was on the whiteboard. And I think Miami was the other big option on the whiteboard. I think Denver is an underrated team in this. I really do for LeBron services. He doesn't have to bring the ball up as much with Murray and Jokic at 42. That's a positive. Playing with Jokic is going to help him out, but he's also going to help Jokic's weakness, which is the defense.
Well, he can dole out the more of the playmaking duties. It doesn't have to fall upon Jokic for playmaking stuff.
And also, LeBron's going to help out Jokic's main weakness and Murray's main weakness, which is the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah,
that's their 2 main weaknesses.
Well, they're definitely their biggest weakness is in terms of the I think just wing defense in general.
Yep.
So I just don't like overall defense. I think it'll be okay, but like wing defense, definitely they needed more help on that end.
I think if LeBron signs with Denver, great. Him to Philly is a pipe dream. I don't know how the Sixers are going to get the cap room to do it. That is a pipe dream to have, with especially the Jaylen Brown contract.
Unless he really takes a massive 1 year mid-level exception.
Yeah. Well, I heard they only want $6 million, which to me and you is wonderful, but in LeBron numbers is lower.
Yes.
And I think we can definitely cross. I don't know about the Warriors one yet.
No,
obviously that's the most popular one. But I think I don't know if that deal will be able to. I think because everything falls upon does Golden State want to get Anthony Davis to entice LeBron, and I don't think they want to make that move unless LeBron is for sure coming there. So unless we hear something about Anthony Davis literally getting traded to Golden State, I think we can put the LeBron to Golden State on hold for right now.
I think it's dying a slow death.
I think it's dying a slow death. And then I think the other 2 possible ones, I think the 2 biggest ones are Cleveland or Miami.
The 2 reunions.
Just because Cleveland has the cap, both teams have the cap space.
Yep.
And then also they just are a better fit overall for him.
I think both of them are better fits. Yep.
Yeah, 100%. Both of them are the 2 best fits out of all these teams that we've discussed. I think they're the 2 best fits.
Yep. The question is Miami going to have the room to do it? Because that's the thing. Miami, they have a little bit more cap room, but that's the thing. I think Cleveland has the most cap room.
Yeah, Cleveland has more because unless they re-sign Harden, which I don't think they're going to do. So I just feel like they just have a lot. Well, if they don't re-sign Harden, they'll have exponentially more cap space. So,
100%. Yeah. That's here's where I'm at with LeBron. I think LeBron goes back to Cleveland first, and then Miami's the second option. For me, because I love LeBron in Cleveland, in this situation because I think he needs to retire as a Cav. I really do.
Yeah.
And I think this is last year. I think this is LeBron's last year. That's why he's leaving the Lakers.
Yeah.
I think it's going back to either one of the two options: home, or Miami.
that's home or his second home. Yeah.
And all those two, I think the Cavs would make more sense for him just because that team is already put together. You can have LeBron. It doesn't matter if you re-sign Harden or not. Like Harden, Mitchell, Mobley, Allen. Who cares who else is on the court? Like I think if the Heat, if they honestly re-sign. I think if they get LeBron, they're not done. I think they still need a wing shooter. They lost Hero and
Well, I mean they've been able to. Well, they lost Powell, so they were able to get some of that back with Hardaway signing.
Yes.
Okay.
I just feel like they still have some holes on that roster. Whereas
Miami's got holes. Right now, they're a winner for me. If they're going back to the winner's side, they're a winner. Okay. If they get LeBron, they're the winner. Like they're the winner.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So because they're more so than San Antonio and
obviously we want to try and wrap this up as quickly as possible. So I want to get your guys' opinion on this because we talked about it in the group chat.
Yes.
Was LeBron's time in LA successful?
He brought them a championship. So yes. Even though it's just the one championship, he brought him the championship. So
Jane, I can't call it a failure. Though this is the only way you can argue that it's not a success. I'm not making this argument, but if the goal was to be better than Jordan, he probably wanted 3.
Yeah.
And he didn't get 3, he got 1. So you can make that argument. However, in 2026, after having so many arguments about this, I think that my personal prerogative is I'd rather LeBron just do LeBron, enjoy the rest of your career. You're one of the greatest ever.
Yeah.
And stop worrying about whether you're better than Jordan. Because you're better than everyone else.
Yeah.
You know?
And, better than 99%. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like what Stephen A says. Like, there are a lot of people who play basketball. You're better than all of them. It's just one guy you're not better than.
Yeah.
But, I mean, just, enjoy the process. Enjoy the end of what has been an outstanding career. And if you're a Lakers fan, you can't really be mad at LeBron that championship. So
And here's my thing about the 2020 championship, real quick. He had to captivate that city, like Dave McMenamin always points out. He had to captivate that city, especially after the tragic death of Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
After what LeBron's leadership brought to that city after that and captivated that team through the pandemic and all that stuff, getting them that ring, that's why it's a success to me, because that was a tough ask, and the fact that they were able to do it, props to LeBron James, 100%.
Exactly.
I'd say I kind of view his thing as I think middling, but personally successful. I think it's middling overall just because you obviously go into the expectations. You're joining the Lakers. Obviously, there's championship expectations. Obviously, he met them by winning a championship. But outside of that championship, there wasn't much to really be boast about. I mean, he made the play. He only made it out of the first round of the playoffs 3 times during his 8-year run there. And then obviously he missed 2 playoffs. So I just feel like in terms of his personal success, absolutely. He became the all-time leading scorer in a Lakers uniform. He became the first ever active player to become a billionaire, and that was after he went to LA. So obviously, in terms of personal successes, it's just out of this world for him there.
Yeah.
But in terms of team success, overall success, in terms of career success, not so much.
That's the thing. I think the move is middling for the Lakers as a whole.
Yeah.
But LeBron, personally, I think it's successful to a, like you're saying, like a good degree. I think the Lakers lose out on LeBron James because like the LeBron era, they as a loss more so because they only won the one championship. And they tried so many things. They tried the Westbrook thing. They tried the
Well, it just felt like because every year, especially after the championship year, they tried to regain that fire for that championship, but they kept resetting the team every single year, and it just never really materialized. So I feel like, I just feel like in terms of on-court success, it was somewhat successful because they won a championship, but obviously not really successful because of all the other stuff I stated. And then personally, obviously, all that stuff we've mentioned before.
And say real quick, I don't want to hear anything about the bubble. A championship is still a championship. All of their 15 teams had to play in that bubble, and LeBron beat them all. So
exactly, still a championship. I mean, that's the thing. Yes, it was the bubble, but that's the thing. It's not. Every team had the same circumstances.
Exactly.
I mean, that banner's still hanging up there. It's not like they didn't hang the banner up. So
exactly. It's not like the Knicks winning the NBA Cup and not hanging the banner.
Exactly. It's not like that situation.
So, anyway, with that being said, the U.S. game has started. It's 8 minutes in, so let's promote our socials.
I'll go first. You can find me on Instagram at JDPering24 on the screen. You can also find me on Total Apex Sports. You can just pretty much Google my name. My profile will come up for Total Apex. And you can find all my stuff that I've ever posted for Total Apex on there. You can also find me on Muckrack. Pretty much have all my articles up on there too. Shane, go ahead.
Find me at 2 Shanes on Instagram. Find me at 2 Shanes on X. I'm still writing at Total Apex. Fantasy football coming. There you
go. Belgium just scored. So here we go. Ellis Highlight Reel, as you are here on YouTube and TikTok. Obviously, my Facebook's at Brandon Ellis. If you're also watching there, _BLS32, 30BLS on Twitter, and also ellishighlightreel.wordpress.com when I get stuff going. So, with that being said, let's enjoy the rest of this U.S. game. Hopefully, they come back from 1 down, and it's on sides, so it's 1-0, Belgium. So, so it should be fun. The rest of this game, but peace out, everybody.
Peace out.
Take care.